Bukusha TV utatwa totala tala natali.
Ladies and gentlemen, and Bukusha TV, we are presenting to you Nitiveku Amsa, Know Me Better. Know Me Better, it might be in politics, in religious, and everything, or in a community leader. So now we have our guest is Comrade Vus, because some they call him Hoi Hoi. Mr. Lukos.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me at your wonderful podcast. It's a very good initiative for you to be making sure that every situation or every development that comes within the community, you make sure that people are being exposed for their attributes. And since we are now living in a technology life, so I believe that you come up with a very good initiatives and for the well-being of our society.
Mr. Lukos, who's Lukos? You are a father, you are a husband, who exactly are you?
I'm a father. I'm a father of two, and the beautiful wife from Jovus, and we met since I was in my high school up until to date.
I'm
of a pastor.
Coming to struggles and politics now, do you have any affiliations of the certain politics, or when did you join the struggle?
The struggle of politics, man, it's a journey. I joined actually politics. You know, from the background of my growing times, I did not like politics, because politics, I felt like they were actually not bringing about the struggle that initially we are striving for. But I felt like it was all about appointing leaders. It's about going for this one for that position, this one for that position, without looking the concept of fighting for the initial challenges that are being faced by the people. But for me, joining politics, it was about the struggle that I was facing, or the struggle that was faced with my associates, the people that I socialize with. It came through a very difficult way, because it was all about people complaining about workers being outsourced instead of them from the same locally benefiting their benefits.
Before talking about working, are you in an employee somewhere in sectors?
Yes, definitely. I'm a nurse by profession. In Maputo Malaji, and I'm also a representative in the Democratic Nursing Organization.
So in the community, what are you doing?
In the community, I'm
politics.
I'm in politics. Basically, I'm a socialist. I'm in the organization called the South African Communist Party. I'm a secretary of that particular.
Working at Maputo before, is it your first institution to work on? Or
No. Working in Maputo, it is my first departmental. How did I go about to be in Maputo? It was through the program of the ANC, that which was seeking to alleviate poverty from those who were deprived opportunities due to maybe some circumstances, financial challenges. So it happened for me, fortunately, to be part of that program. So that's how I got about to go to school and do nursing auxiliary.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's go to our break, and we'll find out more about who is Mr. Kosi and the journey, and finding his purpose in politics. And then the anger triggers the purpose. Okay, we'll find out more when we come from the break. Remember, this is Bukusha TV and Nitiveku Amsa. Obrigado.
Bukusha TV utatwa totala tala natali.
Boldness.
Yes, most definitely. You know, he's one great leader who he knows his stand, he knows what he seeks to achieve. However, we might have different aspirations or ideologies in politics, but for a person that knows what is it that he wants to achieve, to me, it's a great idea.
As
So-
as you're talking about Malema, Julius Malema, and his boldness that inspired you,
Yes.
is there anyone who?
Yes, definitely. Comrade Panyaza Lessufi.
Oh,
Comrade Panyaza
Panyaza
Lessufi.
Lessufi, yeah.
Yes,
And
he's,
is the one who enforced this Bella Bill.
yeah, he's the one who enforced the Bella
He was
Bill.
talking
Remember?
strong about it.
Yes, he was very bold on that one because he understood how much as black people we are so subjected to education system or curriculum or the innovation that comes in South Africa. Because one thing that I got to notice, the infrastructure that is there for public schools or for black schools to can say it is very difficult for a black child from a public school to emerge in activities or sporting codes, because the infrastructure itself it's not welcoming like the private schools. So the Bella Act at least is going to assist us in terms of making sure that the infrastructure of the public school and the admission of our black kids to the white schools and the issue of schools being taught by Africans.
So it comes to our language, then you had the challenge in your schooling days in 1990, where you already say that you were Zulu and in the school of where they speak Spedi. So when it comes to Bella Bill, it will be helpful, because nowadays I can see if you are in the this speaking people, you are in there and you find out there's a teacher who can speak another language in the same school, regardless of the community. So I think Bella Bill, the man who it's in your favor actually.
Yes. You know, with the issue of Bella Bill, I at some point during my high school, I had a sister that stayed in Northern Cape. She requested me to come and sit with her at Northern Cape so that I can go to school along with they had a son, with the son. So I was there was no any other school that would teach you in English or our vernac, my Zulu or Spedi to say that. The only school which was there was Atlantics, and it was teaching in Afrikaans. So it became such a difficult moment of my life which I will never forget. So with the Bella Act is going to assist us in that regard, that if maybe you are not an African speaking person, then the books are being taught in English. It makes it better for you to can go and read at home than finding everything written in Afrikaans and you don't understand Afrikaans. It means you are not going to cope in such a school. So for us black people, we've been in schools where it's a Spanish school, but the books have been written in English. So with the issue of Bella Act was assisting in those books which were wrote in Afrikaans to be at least in English, even if a teacher at some point can speak Afrikaans, but you won't be subjected. You can still go back home and read in English.
While you are speaking about the books, and then let me ask you this question, what was your favorite book in your school, literature book in your school during those days?
Literature book in school, I would say, to be quite frank with you, I did not have a specific book that I liked. I only enjoyed biology. I only enjoyed biology when it comes to subjects, because I felt like biology was more realistic. Like I would learn of things that I experienced on daily basis.
But those days in biology, is it not that time when they put a frog and fish?
It was during that time. It was during that time where you learn
you
of
define the fish,
and a leaf,
leaf.
and that it is quite difficult in that instance, because you will learn and you will be educated of a leaf, which is not going to be productive to you in the future. Hence, we are saying in this nowadays we need to change the curriculum or the syllabus, whereby like the Chinese are doing. You learn something from your early years, from the grades, where you are going to know this thing is going to serve the purpose in the future when growing. You learn about electricity from the young age. You learn about processing at a young age.
But
we have minerals in PMC,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
we are unable to have those curriculum which teach us about the minerals that
Because
we are
they
producing.
took our mineral and processed in another countries and come
Yes,
back.
definitely.
And
Then it comes back in a final product of an items and all that,
yeah.
and we never get to benefit.
And
out
those
of-
times we're still busy defining frog and fish.
When I am defining frog and a leaf and a fish,
And in
and
China-
then they are processing.
And in China, they know how to make a phone. This so
Young from a young age, we need those kind of curriculum in our country that can advance our young ones. So we know that if a child is from grade R, it's able to know positive and negative. It's able to know how to process some basic things. They are there.
So now, jumping to another question. Now in Parliament, they were clapping hands, or some people who were clapping hands about the VAT economically. What do you say about the economy of South Africa, the rising of VAT in South Africa? Like an ordinary person who's living in South Africa, do you have an idea about the? Because in Parliament there was another part. Those who say that they agree with VAT, a rising of VAT. Some they say no VAT. So what do you say about it? Do you follow this?
Yes, I do. I do follow such conferences. What I can say in that regard is that the ANC is putting it very clear to say the issue of them increasing VAT, they are looking on the basis of the infrastructure, the social grants, the empowerment of blacks and all that stuff. Since they try, this is another mechanism of trying to redress the imbalances. So, but those who are saying VAT should be increased, they're definitely right as well, because we are looking at those who are in need and who will be unable, who won't be able to afford basic needs or commodities that may be needed to such families. But what I can say is that we are just looking on what the ANC has now indicated, that this will serve a purpose, since they are indicating the issue of corporates, that when corporates are going to be paying VAT, it means there will be a lot of money that is going to be there for the state, and it's going to be there for the state, and the state is going to use that money in a productive sense of making sure that they empower those who are deprived.
Let's come into the rise to politics. You have been in the executive of many forums.
Yes.
Did you find yourself whereby leadership or those who are in power or in management calling you by side and saying, no, just keep quiet? They try to quench the fire in you? Did you have that opportunity in your life?
Yeah, it's quite funny. Yeah, it's true. I did have some where I was called and trying to be stopped, because I'm one leader that was always inspired in politics that I'm governed by transparency, and anywhere I go, I always tell a lot of people that, you know, there's nothing that you would not get as long as you become transparent in what you do in politics. What I've learned is that we have more of careerist or manipulation in politics. So no, we no longer have those leaders who are there inspired by activists, but they are there inspired by a particular agenda. They join politics because of particular agenda, wanting to achieve probably, maybe there's a project or there's anything that maybe incentive, in fact. So I did not buy that that issue of being bought by politicians to run a particular agenda
to
through politics.
Yeah.
Yes, because I've an experience. I've been in I've been a chairperson of a project steering committee of a TAR, which was the in Ward 7.
What other executive did you occupy?
Other executive committees. I've been in forum. That was my first appointment. My second appointment, I've been a president in high school, and from there, by that particular time, I was not much interested in politics, or maybe to say, I did not have much knowledge of politics. it just came and left without me learning a lot since I was in a township school. We did not have much to complain about, but we had issues there and there. But it was not a challenge of me being that type of an activist that maybe what Julius Malema have been in causes. And I've been in forum, as I've already indicated. I've been in a committee of steering committee of that project of ETA.
Yeah.
I've been in South African Communist Party as a secretary currently. I've been in the Dinosa branches to the sub-district. I'm now in COSATU, secretary of the gender structure. So
coming to advocacy and union advocacy, leadership, what do you want to achieve there? Is there any achievement you are looking for, or you are just there to help co-workers?
Yeah, both they are there. I want to achieve, and my achievement basically will be about me advocating the interest of the workers. And the issue of me falling part of the unionism, it was because of the development that I've gained in politics. And I got to notice at my workplace that there are some things that are not in a good stand, whereby they need some type of advocacy, that I felt that I should also put myself in that type of advocacy. That's when I joined the union. And actually it was about the issue of me representing the workers, and since I've developed the interest of politics.
Okay, let's move on and to triumph and setbacks in 2024 election and SACP involvement.
Yeah, no, the setback, you know, to be quite frank, at my branch, my ward 7, when we established the SACP, it was quite a great idea, because that's when we made a lot of people to realize that there's still unionism, there's still representation, there's still other civil organizations that can be presented in a ward. So it was the ANC of our branch. At some point we did not reach terms. At some point they did not want to listen to what we are saying. So we came with this initiative of, no man, let's relaunch the SACP, and we were with Comrade Jackie, the sub-district chairperson, and he assisted us in terms of making sure that we relaunch the SACP.
Bahlaleri kwala ni makaya na ku vulan leswi se lahlekela na hi ririmi ra hina u lahlekele hi Xizulu a nghena exikolweni xa Mapedi a nga swi vulavula wa siyazi Zulu.
Yeah, ngiyasazi Zulu. Angimzulu ngikhuluma sona nasekhaya. Yeah, lesitsonga. I grew up
with language it's Zulu.
Yeah, you know, there's other element. Mina skota ku vulavula Xitsonga.
Lela Sepedi.
Ene ke khona ku lela Sepedi.
What about Venda?
Khona khuluma. Si Venda I was not quite close with vendors. I think that's the only thing that happened to me, for me not to speak Venda. But Namahale is just a diverse, it's a diverse community where there are many languages.
Yeah, it's like
easy
Palabura.
Yes, Palabura in particular anyway, but Namahale particularly, it's more diverse than any other village. Yes. So we have Tsongas. In fact, to be honest, I feel like we don't have a culture in Namahale that we stick upon. That is why Namahale is represented by the municipality than the royal or traditional leaders. Yeah. So your neighbor can be a vendor, can be a Mopedi, and anyhow. So for the kids growing in that area, it's very much convenient for a child to learn.
For you, how came about to know this? Are you linguistic, or you just learn things from reading, or just people when you find them that are talking and you listen?
No, I didn't even realize that. How did I learn some of the languages? It's about growing up with different tribes.
Diverse,
yeah. Then you get to learn those languages, unaware that you are learning those languages.
Yeah,
You just grow up and get to realize at the age of 16 that I'm able to speak more than 3 languages or 4 at a young age. So it's how it is. Afrikaans praat. Remember I told you about the history where I went to Cape, where I was subjected to this apartheid conducts and Afrikaans language when we spoke on the issue of Bela. Yeah, so the school where I was schooling, it was in Afrikaans. So I was bound to worry. I must learn everything in Afrikaans. So it became difficult. The management of the school teachers, for you being black, it was a crime.
Okay.
So that
Okay.
that which
This is Bukusha TV. Ntibe answer. Here we have Mr. Lukosi Mukongwana Kandlovu. So okay, we are coming to an end of our program now. So Mr. Lukosi, do you have anything to say to our viewers?
No, thank you very much for tuning with Bukoma
Bukusha
TV show. It was a great feeling. I'm really happy and pleased and indeed.
Thank you. This is not the first time, and by the helps from the Mr. Lukosi, we will find more comrades, more activists in our area. Around Likani, Mashishiman, Matama in Kan, but there's a place they call Matama in Kan.
Yeah. I know of the place. I know of the place called Matama in Kan. Yeah.
Because of the struggle, people they stay by force.
Yeah. I once went to Zanin. There's a place called Mulaka Boots.
Walking on my hand, badge, something like that.
Exactly. Yeah.
So thank you very much for watching us, for being patient with us. It's Rodrick Mashaba, your presenter in Bukusha TV. We really appreciate you. This is not the first and the last. We'll continue to advocate and to bring you the fresh news from the currently affairs or the any economic affairs. Will bring you live to you as we are moving in this currently situation in South Africa. So what do you say in South Africa in Zulu? Ningizimu Africa. Or what about when we say South Africa in Venda? Africa Chipembe.
Africa Chipembe. Yeah, exactly.
So thank you very much for watching us. It was so exciting with Mr. Lukosi. I'll bring more news. Thank you. Can see.